We have reached the final phase of our test with the Link Heavy Hitter slugs. These are some of the coolest looking slugs we've ever tested. They have sort of a steampunk look with that copper and lead construction. In this test, we'll be using a fully rifled shotgun and see how those perform out of that. In our previous test, we shot them through a cylinder bore shotgun without any rifle or spin at all, and the slug was pretty unstable. And of course, if it's unstable, it's not going to be as accurate and it's not going to perform correctly. We also shot these through a rifle choke tube. The slug spun a little bit. It was a little more accurate, but it still wasn't really that stable. Heavy hitter test through full rifling. The recoil is going to be kind of hard, so be prepared for that. Okay, that looks pretty, it looked low before, but that looks pretty parallel and everything.
Alright.
Damn scope. Why'd you put a scope on it? You're doing good without it.
I'm about ready to take it off.
Okay, I'm ready when you are. Dang it. 1090. As we can see, we have much more spin now, and the slug is flying the way it's supposed to fly. Very stable. Ears, eyes, action. Okay, I'm ready. Ooh! Ooh! Now, depending on the powder that some shell manufacturers use, some throw out a lot more heat distortion than others. We had a lot with these shells and it kind of ruined our shot. But we still have a pretty good idea of how the slug flew through the air. There you go. As most people understand, every shell, every slug type has its own ballistics. And we don't take any practice shots. So, the shooters have to figure out where these things are landing and make minor adjustments along the way. And Danny's finally figured it out. Okay, 1.5 inches of aluminum, as the British call it. They're funny people. Okay, I'm ready. That's tough stuff there, man.
I tell you what, 1.5 inches of aluminum.
Aluminum, mate.
Aluminum.
Governor?
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah. You can see where the hollow point was.
Right there.
Yes, sure.
Not much of a dent. This
shot was taken about 20 yards away. And I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but trust me, that's how far it was. Now, if a slug is accurate at 20 yards and it's flying stable and true, we can usually assume it's going to be accurate at 50 yards and beyond that. When you have a limited number of shells to test, you want to make sure that every shot counts and you can hit the target every time.
You are.
There you go. With the fully rifled shotgun, we're getting good spin stabilization, and as a result, we're getting pretty good accuracy. Now, these have a rated velocity on the box of 1,300 feet per second, but our chronograph was reading somewhere between high 900s and low 1,100 feet per second readings. So this slug was not flying supersonic when it hit the gel, and that often makes a big difference whether or not a slug will actually expand like it's supposed to. Yikes! Now, mind you, a 1.5 ounce slug, even traveling subsonic, is going to do a lot of damage. It's a lot of mass flying through the air. Also, it's important to understand that the shells that we got are pre-production kind of beta test rounds. So the final versions will probably be at the much higher 1,300 feet per second velocities.
Okay, hydrostatic Rocky the squirrel whenever you're ready. Yikes!
Yikes.
Camera, action!
Now the folks at Warwolf Ordnance, you know, the guys that made the double pumpkin ball and the hot pepper shell, they're doing tests with these shells, doing their own powder loads, and hopefully they'll be selling them on their website very soon.
And now, here's that master of the cinematic arts, Mr. Know-It-All.
And no test is complete without the military bowling pin, military grade bowling pin. I'm ready when you are. Wow.
Wow.
While you can kind of shoot these out of a smoothbore shotgun, and they work a little better out of a rifle choke tube, these things really are primarily made for a fully rifled shotgun. So I wouldn't call them a universal slug. Now hopefully you know who Edwin Sarkisian is and Jasperito. Yesterday they were driving from Northern California to Las Vegas to meet up with guys at SHOT Show. And I had them stop at a gas station near my hometown, and I gave them this military grade bowling pin for them to shoot. So hopefully they'll shoot it with like a 20mm. As always, I want to thank our generous Patreon supporters for keeping our channel afloat. Advertising revenue is almost non-existent now for pretty much every channel on YouTube, and unfortunately the future, if we are to survive, will rely on Patreon support. It's our goal to completely eliminate advertising and stop giving money to Google. They haven't treated us fairly, yet they still take a cut of our earnings. Now imagine a day when there's no ads at all on our videos. That'll be nice, right? And imagine the satisfaction of knowing that Google isn't getting any money. Now we're doing everything possible to be advertiser friendly. That was always our goal since we became a full partner on YouTube. And now YouTube is doing everything possible to, push back and take everything away from us. Now on top of that, YouTube's been running ads for an ad blocker program, and if that's not the most ironic, most grievous example of being advertiser unfriendly, I don't know what is. And if that's not discouraging enough, the new rules on YouTube is you have to have 1,000 subscribers and something like 4,000 hours of watch time a year to even monetize a video. Who in their right mind would want to start a brand new channel these days? Thanks, YouTube. Thank you for your support, and thank you for watching.